Alrighty, we are back with another game. It's another day for you. It's another day for me. There was a patch and we've had some slight problems finding games that, or finding a game that doesn't go out of sync. Unfortunately, that's just the way that everything works nowadays. But if it wasn't for the wonderful Boit and his creations over at aomstats.io, I wouldn't be able to find any recorded games. So big shout out to him and what he's been able to do with his website. Super stoked for all of his awesomeness. But we are in for an absolute treat here in this one. In the bottom of the map, playing as Thor, his name is Kido. His opponent today, in the red color, playing as Isis, his name is Kimo. Kido, Kimo. Different player. There you go. But nonetheless, this is going to be an absolute cracker of a game. I would recommend popcorn. I would recommend juicy beverage of some description. Delicious beverage. Whether that be, actual juice in your beverage or not. That's up to you guys. Maybe you prefer something a little bit more spicy. But this is going to be it. Over on this left-hand corner of that, we've got Nose of the Sphinx. This is plus 15% to the buildings. Over here, we've got Girdle of Hippolyta, plus 10% hit points to the ranged soldiers. Onto this position, we've got Tusk of the Iron Boar, hit points plus 10%. And on the left-hand corner of the map, we've got Head of Orpheus, plus 8 line of sight. So, I don't really know where this game normally goes. It depends on how the players want to play it, where this matchup normally goes. But the big thing is, or the thing that I think that is relatively interesting about these two players, is that they're both really defensive players. They love playing a defensive game, and they're both quite strong in the mid game and all the other good stuff that comes from that. The Dwarf Berserk 2-on-1 action here. Kimo only now starting to run away here as Kido going to just pull in front. He really just needs to snare and keep that priest at a delayed speed. You see that 3.1 there? As long as it's at 3.1, it's all good. And the dwarf's going to kill it faster. He does manage to pick that one off before going back home. So no scouting shenanigans here for Kimo in this early stage of the game. That's huge. Now, Kido loses a little bit of gather time for this. He's actually even going to spend the time shanking down the obelisks here as well, just to say, get out of here. No point in wasting the walking time, getting all the way back and leaving those obelisks up, he says. But this is huge. Take a look at Kimo's perspective here. He sees a town center here. He sees a gold mine. So in a way, he's seen everything he needs to see in the early game. In a way, if that's what he wants to go for. But equally, this might not be like quite enough, so to speak. We'll see him come over here and see what he's going to do. But there's no food on. He's got no idea where the food is. Now, there is no food here. There's a couple of goat. All the food is on the left-hand corner. Giraffe, lion, zebra, literally all on the outskirts of the map. This is a really, really interesting savanna. And looking at this, I think this is going to be something important to keep in the back of your mind. That you can potentially have hunt, spawn all around the edges of the map. Now, there are 2 elephants apiece in the center of the map. Imagine scouting this as the Egyptian player. This would be paradise. You drag both of these in under the town center. Happy days. But it's Bast now for Kimo. No surprises there. He's working up to his 550 gold for a second town center, sending his Sphinx forward to get something done. On the other side of the map here, we've got that Hammer of Thunder technology coming through. Hursa on the way. Forseti is very, very delayed. This is something that Kido actually does on purpose. He really, really likes the later advances because it gives him a tiny bit of an edge in the game over someone who doesn't. If you do it like 30 seconds, 45 seconds, a minute, the resource gains can go anywhere up to like 240 resource advantage just at the start of the game. It can be absolutely gigantic, but it does mean you can't punish things like a fast second town center from an Egyptian player and all the other good stuff. As we do see the final obelisk of Kimo getting taken out. As hand axe, pickaxe now coming through for Kido as well. And to take a look at Kimo's upgrades, he's actually got husbandry as well as pickaxe already, which will mean that he's going to be able to gather these chickens at nearly the rate of hunt. I think it actually is effectively the same, maybe 0.01 difference or something. Is that right? 0.97 there. So very, very close. Very, very nice. But he's got his second town center up already. An armory going to be coming through. Looks like it's going to be a 2 town center fast heroic here. As Kido, Longhouse coming down. Raiding cavalry coming through as well to get a little bit of damage done. As the Sphinx here could get intercepted by the Ursa, and Kimo does get a little cheeky turn on that one. Gets out of there with just one smack. As he's going to pull all the way back home. And he's going to continue to enjoy this town center advantage. Now, if you're 1 minute in front on the town center, that's about creating an equal situation for you. If you're 2 minutes in front, now you're in front just in general. So I like this play here from Kimo. And generally speaking, I think I prefer the town center plays against Thor, generally speaking. If you do have some sort of like pressure build you can do to like get the Thor player on the back foot while taking your town center, I think that's probably your best bet. But any sort of fast second town center is going to be good in my books. But we'll see exactly the way in which Kido wants to play this. He hasn't realistically scouted where the big problems are gonna lie here for him if he wants to play a 1 town center game. So he's scouting around. He still hasn't spotted it. Berserk taking a lot of damage here from the... No, he's not. He's dodging everything. He is basically Neo here. The Egyptian archers, I mean, they don't have any archers in the classical age, so how are they supposed to know how to shoot? They've only got slings. But this is the problem up here. Town center, close to gold mine, easily defended with a wall over here. All of a sudden, army comes in, has to fight underneath the town center. Not going to do a whole lot. Kimo already up through Nephthys. He's getting himself all of his upgrades, and he is going to be able to slam down a Migdol stronghold very, very shortly here. As Kido is still just pumping out units. He's making more Hersa. Walls coming up all over the place. A couple of raiding cavalry to come through. He's got 4 of them. Ready to put just a little bit of pressure on Kimo's gold villages here potentially. That could be a nice way to go. He is now going to be dropping down a town center on this front position. And you can see, even after all is said and done, the villager differential here is still pretty close. A lot of this is in this age up as well, though. You have to remember, with a town center aging up, you know, you're not getting those extra villages. And the fact of the matter is, in this armory, Kido's already got 4 villages out of it. So still very, very close here. And this delayed town center isn't going to put Kido that far behind, economically speaking. However, Kimo is going to be in front very much so in terms of technology here. So he's going to be able to get some real big damage done moving forward in this game. So we'll see what he's going to be able to make happen. As the Scorpion Men coming through. Hersa on the charge here. Is that a Scorpion Man that just dies? Wow. With it being snared, it just falls. How fast are these? 5.2 speed. He's got that upgrade Hall of Thanes. So quick. Siege Work's now going to come through for Kimo, as he's now going to start making himself a couple of Chariot Archers here. This could be a very rare sort of 2 town center timing attack here from Kimo. I've not seen him doing this kind of ever. Did he have a market? No market. I really, really like, and he's going to actually go for farms here, but I really, really like the idea of potentially going for a prosperity, which is an 80% gather rate increase on your gold villages, right? Which is huge. And then actually buying the resources you need to pump out for the timing attack can be really, really nice, rather than just having all that gold sitting there not being that useful. That being said, Kimo, he is throwing farms down, so no problems there. This makes a lot of sense. We'll see what he's going to be able to do as the chariot archers slowly coming forward. Kimo doesn't have any armory upgrades just yet. He's going to be getting himself the ballistics technology. It's not quite in just yet. Bowsaw comes through. And we'll see how it all shapes up with Kido dropping a healing spring. There's still Ancestors Eclipse in the bank. Now, I don't really think that Ancestors Eclipse is that good of a god power by itself. The only really good usage of it by itself is using it on your opponent's economy. That being said, as the dwarves coming out here, recently nerfed against the siege tower, that thing would have been at like 100 HP now. That's really, really nice, actually. Get some nice kills in. But nonetheless, I don't think Ancestors Eclipse is that good by itself. It's really good when you combine it with, say, 3-4 Scorpion Men or 3-4 Sphinx or anything. As Kido, he is ready to put this pressure on, charging in onto this position. But Kimo just retreats back. If we see any sort of spearman, he's getting an axeman out. The chariot archers are going to be very, very good here to take out these units on the retreat. But he does miss that kill on the raiding cavalry. But population differential here is going to be favoring the classical age army, as it looks like Kido has now hit the heroic age through Bragi. Control goes down. Siege tower rolling in. And one thing here for Kimo that I want to see, and for every single Egyptian player, if you're not going to be building myth units, and this is a sort of decision to be made after you watch what your opponent's doing, right? You never have to spam the myth units out straight away, right? You can decide when to build the myth units, how to build the myth units, and why to build the myth units. But if you take a look at the army of Kido, he's got a ton of Hersa, so myth units at the moment probably not that useful. What he could do is save favor up for another prosperity. 60 favor for another prosperity might seem like a lot, but the boost is gigantic. This is a really, really nice second usage of a god power. Of all of the archaic god powers, I mean, Rain obviously another one that's really good. This is one of those ones that you should definitely consider using multiple times in a game, in my opinion. As the chariot archers simply going to keep getting snipes off here. Chariot archers did get a slight tap on their HP in the recent patch, but you know, they're still going to be a go-to for Egyptians here, it seems, as Kimo still looking to put pressure onto this position, still looking to do something with his army here. We see the raiding cavalry, they still don't have themselves their upgrade with some flaming weapons to come through as well. As there's the heavy cavalry in, spearmen in to block this all up. All of those minions are going to go down incredibly fast here, as there are a bunch of battle boars to come in onto this position. Kimo, he's kiting back as fast as he can. Hutskull now joining into the party here. 150 population apiece here. The flaming weapons from Kido is going to be very, very tough, but Kimo's got garrison abilities here. He's making the priests out, and Kimo, he needs to get those heroes over here. Does he have Nepti in or not? It looks like he does have Nepti in, so those priests are going to take out the battle balls very, very nicely. Ancestors Eclipse gone. Flaming weapons gone. Damage done onto both players. The population is favoring Kimo at the moment, as he's queued up 10 chariot archers. That's a lot of chariot archers there. I think a second Migdol is definitely called for at the moment. And there's the obelisk coming up on the front. Kimo now sending even more siege towers in. You love to see it. These are units that we really didn't see very much because of how quickly villagers and honestly melee units as well could take them out. But at the moment, I'm not particularly liking the look of Kimo's army. We'll see if he can make it happen. Those raiding cavalry charging in very, very quickly. One more whack onto this town center and it is down, but it's not going to be fast enough there. As the chariot archers will be able to clean up the small amount of raiding cavalry that's surrounding them. He's still trying to micro back, and he does manage to clean up even more of the raiding cavalry with a couple of axemen now on the front as well to help tank. Scorpion Men going to be joining in onto this fight. Nice little raid over onto this side as Kimo does not really have the defenses here. He doesn't have himself survival equipment either. It's now starting to come through. Like I was saying, that secondary mid-goal very much needed for Kimo at this point. But Kido at the moment, he is taking this town center on the front. He is taking the elephant here. But he keeps getting pushed back in this game. His army is just not able to break through the Egyptian army just yet. Kimo's got himself a decent amount of upgrades here. Kido's got himself a decent amount of upgrades as well. But population-wise, army quality-wise, it looks like the chariot archers are just pulling through that little bit better as we see a couple more great hauls to come through. And will Kido be able to break past this or not? As we see the raiding cavalry, they've got their eyes set onto this gold mine over here as the chariot archers getting chased in on. But with a handful of axemen, this is the thing. The Huskal, they are really good against chariot archers. Don't get me wrong, as the raid does hit over here. But their weakness is always going to be against axemen or counter infantry. As the raiding cavalry do manage to get a lot of good villager kills over here. This does give Kido back the villager advantage here. The battle boars slowly getting taken down. You see the Scorpion Men coming in here to help out fairly shortly. Raiding cavalry are back in to get attempt to get a bit of a surround onto this position. Kimo still trying to get out those infantry units. I want to see him upgrading them to heavy. They're really, really weak at only medium upgrades here. As the villagers back in onto this fight here. This does allow the chariot archers to kind of win over on this right-hand corner, but the damage is big. The siege tower on this position here almost finishing off. The town center down to 300 HP as Kido has barely held that town center for what seems like the millionth time in this game, as Kimo's army is now for the first time in this game below on population against Kido here. The army here for Kido charging around onto the back. Kimo can always charge through into this mid-gold stronghold. He's gotten himself boiling oil as well so that the mid-gold stronghold can hit those units when they're underneath. As the spearman tanking down, and now heavy spearman is in, and Kimo gets to this really, really primo heavy spearman, heavy chariot army. Very tough to beat this one. Kido, he wants that Mythic Age. He's got it pre-queued. Another Dwarven Mine to come through here, as he doesn't want to leave his base and allow Kimo to start raiding him. But Kido over-pressuring into this position, it looks like. Too much population here, too much defender's advantage here. It looks like Kimo will be able to hold as Kido needs to retreat away. Villagers literally hunting underneath the nose of Kimo here. He doesn't see it, but that hunt is gone, as you do have a Huskal coming through to drop a longhouse down onto that position, and Kimo just going to have to retreat back. Kimo, he's got a really big problem in front of him. One is he wants this gold mine, but there's a town center here. Two is this gold mine here isn't secured yet, and he's got no gold in the bank to pull a mid-gold down. But the big thing going for him is population for the moment. I love these Scorpion Men getting mixed in as well for Kimo. There are some nice Ursa to come through, but they can get sniped down so quick. Dealing with one Scorpion Man or two Scorpion Men or 5 Scorpion Men with a ton of chariot archers is so challenging for Norse. So I love that sort of decision at this point here, as the town center is going to go down, which will allow Kimo to take it. But Kido's already got this third town center over here and this one over here, and he's going to be able to secure this top position with a whole bunch of walls, most likely. As the siege tower's rolling around to the side, the great halls here, pretty exposed. Mid-gold or hill fort for Kido might go down, and he's really in need of these. Did he get himself the upgrade? No. I think this hill fort upgrade is like must grab. Levy hill fort. It's almost the first thing you want to grab out of the hill fort, just on the fact that it allows you to get more Huskals. And Huskals are a premium unit that you have to be building against Egyptian, in my opinion. As the battle boards now looking to move into the main base here of Kimo. Does he have himself, he doesn't have Spirit of Mart, but he does have the one temple here to build some priests. He could also build some priests out of the main town center if he so chooses. Of course, that cuts down to into his upgrades here, as just one priest queued up at the moment. Grabbing the town center in the front here. Chariot archers are going to be leaving to try and pull back. The villagers here need to get in and repair this. That one priest, I don't think it's going to be enough. Sure, it's gotten empty, but realistically, 3 divine damage, 6x, takes a long time to kill off 3 battle boards here. The chariot archers will begin to assist, as it looks like Kimo, he's not going to be able to hold this. It's going down. 174. The villagers stopped repairing. Did he run out of gold or something? I don't think he did. But nonetheless, onto this position now. Kido is dictating the pace really, really nicely in this game. He's moving Kimo around with that slow chariot archer. And they're not that slow, but the slow chariot archer spearman composition for the moment. Some thrown action coming in, able to snipe through all of those spearmen beautifully here. As the villager coming down onto the bottom, looking to grab this hunt. There is no hunt there. Market's now up into the corner. Kimo trying to secure this with his own walls and everything else. He knows he's almost out of gold in this game. He knows that Kido, he's dropped Dwarven Mine twice. Thimblewinter is on the way. He doesn't know that, but Thimblewinter is on the way. The Dwarven Mines, there's at least 2 more to come, which is potentially going to be like, well, it could be 12,000 or even 18,000 gold if he uses 3 of them. So he needs to get a trade route set up and hold against all of this craziness. But these chariot archers still very, very solid at this point as the Thimblewinter gets dropped down. Villagers going to be getting taken out here. They're all going to be retreating back into the town center. Thimblewinter is going to hurt Kimo a ton at the moment. The problem for Kido is he spent all these resources on the Mythic Age, and this is big, right? But he's not been able to get his town center up just yet. And now he has to take his entire army away from this position on the front to get back and get himself that 3rd town center, which is going to allow Kimo to recover or a lot of the economy that he's lost, and potentially also get himself to the Mythic Age as well, which is where things start getting really, really challenging for the Thor player if Kimo plays it correctly or well, is the Son of Osiris. It's really, really challenging to deal with that one if you don't have any ballast route, because the Son of Osiris and the army can just slow push with the Migdol stronghold, just moving forward, leaving the army on the Migdol, moving forward, putting a new Migdol up, etc., 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 and just challenging to push in and break that sort of death ball army, so to speak, especially when mummies come into the mix. But the positive here for Kido at the moment is that Kimo is not close to the Mythic Age at this point. That being said, he has allowed Kimo onto this gold mine. That's another gold mine he can grab. And Kimo, for the moment, has to be building trade route, which not the most efficient thing, but you absolutely need to be making them. As Heavy Huskal swinging in over onto this position. You also have to remember that these Huskal, they've got access to Hall of Fames. They're moving at 5.5 speed. That is the speed of a cavalry unit. So all of a sudden, this Heavy Huskal, which I've heard people say isn't that strong, is arguably the strongest counter archer, the strongest cavalry unit in the game to deal with archers. That being said, it does get absolutely ruined by the axemen. So Kimo 100% needs to ensure that he's got enough axemen in here. But at the moment, there just isn't. So these Huskal are going to be carrying. And you also have to remember, they've got themselves bravery, which means bonus damage versus buildings. So he could also run elsewhere. He doesn't need to chase these chariot archers. He could push anywhere on this map and take down a Migdol stronghold, take down a town center, take down this town center. There's so many different options here for these Huskals to go and get damage against. Chariot archers sniping all of those thrown axemen beautifully on the back. And there the Huskarls come. There are a couple of axemen already over here. Kimo's still struggling for resources. He is desperately trying to hold onto the townsend. It looks like it's not going to be coming up. Another dwarven mine coming through. 6,000 gold here for Kido to grab whenever he so chooses. It's going to be a lot of gold. One other thing here is that, Kimo, he can actually use prosperity even now. Once all the gold is gone, he can use prosperity, and that's going to increase the caravan trade route by 20%. Might not be a crazy amount. Might not think it's a crazy amount, but any amount of bonus there, especially if you've got 60 caravans out with a plus 20%, that's kind of huge. The chariot archers coming up over onto this position in an attempt to hold here. Huskarl trying to break through onto this spot. The Kimo walls have started. They're not actually all the way started all the way through, but a couple of axemen will be enough to hold here. I'm sure that Kimo is going to start upgrading these walls as well, as he knows how important that corner is going to be. That being said, it's still open over here, so he doesn't have to break through all these walls. Now, if you do see someone doing this, I've said this before, but a nice answer to this is portable ram, or even a titan just walking through all these walls and just killing everything. Meanwhile, over onto this position, the raiding cavalry returning, just preventing gold from getting grabbed. Kimo almost out of gold on this position, however, as he really does need to make... I guess he needs to make something happen. Oh, I love this here from Kido. Behind the base, he goes with a hill fort. Now, Kimo, I don't think he's got... Oh, he does have one of the building upgrades, but not both. If he had both, he probably would see that. But a hill fort at the back means portable rams or Huskarl or anything around there can be very, very strong. In fact, another option here would be to run a whole bunch of units. I actually probably can't make it past that Migdol. That's a huge amount of line of sight there. As Kimo's still trying to push forward here. He's falling behind quite a lot on the score, but it is really important to remember. Kimo's army isn't losing. Hasn't really been losing any fights thus far. So, is there a point here where Kido is going to actually start winning these fights? That's the big question. Or is Kido going to have to keep on just saying, sure, I got all the economy in the world, but I need this to be able to produce the units because I'm losing so many of them. We'll see if he can find the advantage in this game somewhere. Now, one thing here for Kimo to do is just secure this position. This position is completely black for Kido. If he just runs in with some villagers, drops a hill fort down over here, that could be huge. Well, he does see most of it. Pick off the houses, I guess, and then come in and just drop the dolls. Could be absolutely huge. As Kido has now got himself a whole bunch of raiding cavalry. These do not have themselves championed just yet, but he is about to get that. Whole bunch of portable rams also queued up. As the champion cavalry should be a very scary thing here for Kimo to be looking down. However, he has managed to get up through Osiris. And he is spamming out axemen, spearmen, and everything else. As Kimo back into his main base, does have the Townsend now helping out, but there's just not that many units here, it seems, for Kido. Kimo, on the other hand, gets himself, I love that, Scorpion Men here to be a big, big help in tanking up for this army here. I want to see more monuments down though for Kimo as soon as he possibly can. Get himself up to at least 4 so he can start thinking about making those mummies. Because they did get nerfed, but they're still really, really good. And that's why they got nerfed. Because they are still really, really good even after they've been nerfed. Kimo pushing back in. Migdol stronghold gonna go down. Barracks over here might fall as well. But, you know, Kimo, he just needs to wait out for this Son of Osiris, and all of a sudden, he's going to get his upgrades immediately. He's going to be in a completely fine spot to continue in this game. And even though the map looks maybe more secured by Kido, I think Kimo is going to be perfectly happy with the position that he's in here, as the Rams charging through onto this town center. More villagers coming over to just shank these down. Can't really take down a town center with just the rams when there's a whole bunch of villagers around. They will all fall. And there's the Mythic Age. There's the Son of Osiris coming through. It's already taken some very big damage there. Big mistake from Kimo there. That is some very critical damage. This is how much HP, roughly, I think the Son of Osiris should start with, to be honest. But this is nice. This is nice. This is nice. Okay, we'll see the upgrades coming through pretty shortly here for Kimo, and then all these champion upgrades, which Kido has, will become a little bit less scary to be dealing with. The siege towers will come in and clean up these longhouses. Kido still has got this position going on. He's got 2 heavy rams in here. Now, if he gets like 5 out and does this as a bit of a sneak attack while he charges at the chariot archers, that's how you create enough chaos to make something happen. Because the chariot archers, yeah, they're really strong, but they do require 100% of your attention to micro them back. So it's a good idea here. I like it, but I don't know if Kido is going to be going for it. He sends the units in, and he's retreating back away from here. And I think, as a monument to the villagers, is going to actually go down. And there is a Scorpion man already back here to just defend. That's a really nice placement from Kimo there. But I think this is not going to be that useful as the mummy comes through. Gets a little bit of damage done onto those villagers. He needs support there to make that happen. It's the siege tower. That's being taken down. The Son of Osiris getting caught out here. In fact, it does get caught out as it goes down and gets nearly nothing done in this game. What a huge blunder from Kimo. He didn't respect how slow the Son of Osiris is, and he just gets it absolutely demolished out of nowhere here. As Kido is in the driver's seat now. There's no Son of Osiris. This unit is supposed to carry Isis through until Isis gets all of her upgrades, at least for like 5 minutes, with Migdal pressuring, if not even more. Really nice play from Kido. Great awareness to figure out that Kimo is making a very, very aggressive move. Too aggressive, in fact. But, all that being said, there are still mummies. Oh, looks like we've got a Secret to the Titans queued up here. It's going to be a ways away for Kido. He's got the Ox Caravans coming through. His Dwarven Mine, he's down to arguably his last one. I'd be surprised to see him use a 200 favor gold mine. It's not unknown to see it, but I'd be surprised. As the Scorpion Man goes down over there, the siege tower getting cleaned up as well. You see the mummy coming in to this position as well. So Axemen still flashing it against infantry. I'm surprised to see the Spearmen coming out at this point. It's just Axemen all the way for Kimo in this game, because Kido, realistically, Kido needs to start setting up for Baluster, walls, towers, or maybe not towers, but hill forts everywhere, and just getting into this position. I'd love to see on this back here a legacy-style box being drawn around this hill fort, and then baluster inside of it. That would be really, really nice. You see like a box, and then another box in front, and then you just baluster sieging from that back for a little bit. Stone walls also going to be coming through. We've already got stone walls for Kimo. He still hasn't really defended this trade route amazingly. If Kido can figure out that he needs to just get into this position here and just occupy this, he could kill off a lot of this trade. Kimo now, he's also got himself the 4 monuments. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then now the catapult is in. As after what seems to have been, Kimo was pressuring a little bit earlier, but what seems to have been about, let's go with 20 minutes of defending, Kimo has finally found the room to start actually putting some pressure back onto this Thor player, onto Kido. Oh, now we see the Dwarven weapons come through. 1,000 resources to get that 10% bonus damage. It's a lot of resources, but well worth it. As take a look at this, 14.7 is going to go up quite a bit here. 15.4 on the damage for those champion Huskarls is absolutely insane. It's a good question in the chat from Monkeys. It's basically full iron for Kimo. He doesn't really need the shields, so he's going to get them eventually. And it is fully upgraded units here for Kido. He's got everything except for his mail armor. He's going to be working on that next. The Axeman coming back in, and we do see that Titan is on the way, as for the moment here, Kimo doesn't have the favor to get it. I mean, he does have 2 mummies queued up, so if he notices the Titan getting placed down, he can cancel those and try and get himself back, or get himself up the Titan. Power's now coming up onto the front here. These Chariot Archers will be able to pick off the units relatively quickly. The Catapult's going to come in and defend onto this position as the Titan Gate and a whole bunch of Berserks get converted, as Kido is now down to 55 villagers. He does have a 60 villager trade route here, and he doesn't have any technologies left that he needs to grab. He's now getting the final one, Meteoric Iron Mail. So this is this is basically Age of Mythology economy 101 here from Kido. Put your economy up to the stratosphere, 150, 160, or something like that. Get every single upgrade you possibly can, and then trim down to around about 100, 120-ish on economy. And you're golden. That's how you play Norse. The Axeman coming back in, and Kido will most likely need to start looking to move into something else. I'm surprised, in a way, that we haven't seen any Jarls just yet. The Jarls were recently buffed. Obviously, there's no ring giver here, but base Jarls are. So they might be a nice answer for Norse against those champion Axemen. Now, if Kido were to do that, though, I wouldn't be surprised to see maybe some spearmen or maybe even camel riders to come through. Kimo probably can start thinking about doing that as well, as we've got some siege towers in onto this bottom side here, taking out the longhouses on the bottom. The Titan Gate at 63%, still a ways to go. It's all the villages in the world on this Titan over here as well. Citadel wall on the way. And Kimo, he is going to continue to put these double walls up all over the place. This one Berserk does manage to kill off 2 low HP units, and we'll get a lot of value picking up villagers here as well. Kimo doesn't really notice it. He's trying to finish off the walls here, it seems. The barracks or longhouse is still coming up over there. Another hill fort to come up onto the back, as Kido continuing to get these side builds in. Does he see the Titan or not? He's got no idea where it is. It could be over here, it could be over here, it could be over here. It's well worth it to scout this out, because if Kido gets this Titan there in time, that's lights out for the Titan Gate. He's got 50 seconds to run across the map and clean up the Titan. 50 seconds, that's it. And probably, maybe I wouldn't say 50, probably like 40 seconds to, well, from now, but the 40, if you get there with 10 seconds remaining, I think you kill off all the villagers fast enough. I don't know. He's going after the center of the map here. The Berserks charging through into this position, looking for a little bit of a raid onto this trade route. But it looks like Kido is saying, nope, we aren't going for the Titan. We're going to allow the Titan to come through. Couldn't find it in time. Does manage to get over onto this. Oh, I love this dock here from Kido. This is so smart. The Yorman Elba is going to be gigantic. Can he get even more out? Yes, he can. Yorman Elba's on this position. He's going to do so much damage. Walls coming down as well as Kido managed to break through. Kimo punished for not finishing off that wall there. And this is going to be a lot of damage to come here as the Titan retreating back away from these priests. It's really, really important to be mixing in army with your Titan. Otherwise, it will lose a lot of HP. The Titan is now through for Kimo as well, as he is going to be charging in onto this position to try and make something happen. As the Hursa are now coming over here, we've got those Chariot Archers needing to retreat back. Still more Axemen to come through. To be honest, at this point, it seems to me like Kimo could get away with just pure Axemen here. He is at 76 villages for the time being. Kido's Titan is on coffee break over there, just having a quick smoko. Now he decides to start running forward and maybe engaging this Titan here. You see the first whack. I need a photo mode this. Come on, guys. Come on, guys. We got to get in here. Hold on. We go turn around like this. I wanna see it like this. And we're just gonna do this, and we're gonna zoom down. A perfect photo with a sunset winter. No, a winter at the back. No, that doesn't make any sense. A desert. No, I've done desert before. Let's go with a storm. Perfect. And when we hit print screen, big hammer swing. I mean, these are the things that I enjoy about Age of Mythology. Yeah, I don't know if you guys do, but I just want to take some cool photos. Like, these are things that players are making in game. They look absolutely sick. There's the Titans here. Huge engagement. We just did a Pharaoh plus a couple of priests coming in. So it looks like Kimo's Titan is inching out a victory here. And Kido does opt to retreat back. I like that he's actually able to disengage without taking another swing there. Perfect disengagement, it looks like, from Kido. But he's running out the wrong way. He takes another big whack there as the priest still getting some good damage. And Kido needs to take out that Pharaoh for sure. Meanwhile, over onto this side, the siege towers and everything else going to clean up this big mess of damage which Kido sustained, as the Titan now says, well, excuse you, if you're not going to fight me, I am going to take you down. I am taking you down a peg or two here. As the Titan for Kimo, it looks like it is going to be able to, oh, not paying attention, that takes a lot of damage. It looks like how much HP is Kimo's Titan going to be left with after all is said and done. 6,500. We'll be able to kill off the town center, it looks like, but most likely going to be falling fairly quickly after it with a couple of Hursa on the way to get that damage in. Does anyone know how much favor you get for killing a Titan in total? Is it like 100 favor or 50 favor or something? It's not. Does anyone know? I don't know. The Titan here almost finished off, but Kido has lost his town center. Oh, another flaming weapons to come in for Kido after all is said and done. Is he back up onto this spot? No. Siege towers rolling in on the bottom. Lots of idle units here for Kido on the other spot. You see the town center now coming back up, as it looks like Kimo is able to hold here after losing his Titan against this flaming weapons. It's not that big of a deal. 3 mummies out for the time being. The Hursa come through, but it's not going to be enough. The Axemen are already in position there. Catapult not taking out the town center will allow Kido to get that one back. So this game is not over just yet. We've still got more Age of Mythology to see here, ladies and gentlemen. But Kimo is now ready to start slow pushing with the towers. He's got 3 Migdols up. He still hasn't really walled this off over here. I think that if Kido wants to, he can do another little bit of a, there we go, another little bit of a raid in onto this position. He's just going to be sending a handful of raiding cavalry through to try and take out the camel caravans. I know it's kind of hard to make this happen in game. How many has he had? He's got 8 straight hauls. But this army comp which Kimo's going for, the only real unit to build here that makes sense is cavalry. So Jarl raiding cavalry at the moment. Maybe some Persa obviously to deal with the mummies, but we'll see if Kido can actually break through. Is he doing anything up here? He's still building out a whole bunch of portable rams there. Because raiding cavalry are getting some good damage onto this position, but look at the gold in the bank for Kimo at the moment. I don't think he cares one iota about those dead camel caravans. He's just going to build them back up. You can see them already coming through. More towers now coming through in the center of the map. Look at these bad boys. 21.3 pierce damage per second. Versus the Chariot Archer, who is at 13.9. So a whole 6 damage more. More than 6 damage more. 7 damage more. Coming out of those towers in the late game. Newly buffed Ballister Towers from the devs. They've given you new tools to play with. And you can build even more of them now. As all of this gold can be sunk into towers. What can Kido do now against this tower push? He's still trying to build portable rams. I mean, Ballister makes some sense here. I mean, you can get out like 5, 6, 7 Ballister just to sit here. Then all of a sudden you can take down the towers, take out the catapults, take out the chariot archers. Could be a little bit of a challenge to break through those. I'm not sure. But it looks like what we do see, the Ballast is now starting. But both players' economy now in this point in the game is stonkers. So economically speaking, it doesn't really matter. It's all about unit comp. And at the moment, not only is it 15 population more for Kimo, but it's also 16 towers on this position. Now they're not all firing, most of them are. But 16 towers is something like 45 population plus on this position. That's a lot of bonus pop here. So you can see the economy, even though Kido's economy is stonking, he's now out of resources. And all of a sudden, that population, very, very shortly, is going to start dropping if he still has to fight underneath the spot. We are seeing the catapults targeting down enemy siege here. As the siege war starts to slowly begin. Now, the catapults, they do one-hit Ballister. Ballister take a little bit longer to take out the enemy catapults here. So the catapult does have a rather large advantage in this one. Might be able to sneak the portable ram in and try and pick this off, but Kido is managing to keep himself at population of flaming weapons for the 3rd time in this game to come through. Will this be enough or not is the big question. More catapult in as neither player can really ignore this position now. No room for side builds. We just see a little bit of a side attack over here, hitting some villages. More axemen to come through. And it does look like Kido, he is managing to make some ground here. Still making siege out to try and break through all of these towers. I mean, Kimo can put even more down. He still has 2,000 gold in the bank. He's still spamming out these axemen non-stop. I mean, he knows this is the right composition for him to build here. Portable rams versus axemen and chariot archers does make a lot of sense because there's not a whole lot of axe damage there. But these aren't any special. There's nothing special about the portable rams, right? They don't have Balder, so no whatever it's called. I guess you can take out the portable rams with catapults as well. They do have 60% crush armor, but even so, every attack is 250 crush. It's only got 275 HP, so it'll be like half the HP just in that one boulder. Catapult in, chariot archers sniping down the hill fort, and Kimo, I'm sure, will send more villagers forward to put even more towers down. As Kido up into the top corner of the map, you see some axemen up here as the catapult slowly starting to snipe this down. Kimo, I mean, he's left this position open for the entirety of the game. A wall over here would be absolutely gigantic to just slow down Kido's side build attempts here. Kido pushing back into this Demacia. Attempted a bit of a tech switch here into Camel Riders. Remember, there is Desert Winds and Champion Camel Riders not in just yet, but they will be a very, very useful unit here to protect against any sort of... I guess there's not really any cavalry, so I'm not exactly sure why he's doing it at the moment, but he's got the resources for, so why not? Chariot archers slowly pushing forward to take out all these units as well. That's a good point. How much wood is left on the map? There's still plenty of forest left here at the 50-minute mark, so I don't think that Kimo's going to be too worried. He's also not losing chariot archers either. He's losing axemen, which effectively he has infinite resources on. And obviously he's also losing the catapults, but as soon as those Huskarl come in, Kimo is back on his shoot and scoot. And sooner or later, I'm sure we'll see. The Pharaoh is empowering up the... Does this hit more damage, do you reckon? It sends it to 0.5, so double the damage rate. So this is doing 42.6 versus 22. It's pretty close. It's pretty close to double, right? More ballots that have come through as the Berserk Huskarl army charging through here. No attack down the bottom. I haven't seen these Citadel walls before. That kind of look pretty sick. So what can Kido do at the moment? He's got all of these throwing axemen out to try and deal with axemen, but realistically, just all of the towers on the front, this is just going to clean everything up. Kido needs to be getting his own towers down here somehow. This is always going to be the problem for North, is you need all your pop fighting. You can't get the towers down. You need all your pop fighting. I mean, you could potentially just take one unit out and then start trying to put a tower down. But a tower probably takes about, what, like 90 seconds to build or something crazy? There is enough for another Thimble Winter here if Kido wants to use it. He's going to opt in for another plumbing weapons for the time. But I actually think the Thimble Winter would have been the right call here for Kido. It would have definitely hurt the economy. It really destroys a trade route. That's the big thing. It's now the Champion Camel Riders, they're out and they are on a mission. 6 Champion Camel Riders with Desert Winds, taking out the markets, taking out those Ox Caravans. Kido's population dropping, his gold income dropping as he falls down below 235 pop in a big way here. Not due to lack of concentration, not due to missed macro, just not having the resources anymore. Catapult yet again. Oh my god, so quick at it. And the thing is, the Ballista, I think, I could be wrong about this, I think the Ballista misses some of its shots. So even though it's doing 30 crush, he dodges it! Shoot and dodge! Wait, can you dodge the... I guess you can dodge the catapult, right? Because it doesn't have ballistics. So if the catapult is focusing a unit and you see it, you could probably dodge it. There could be some very, very intricate siege micro necessary in these late games. Oh, now, there we go. There's the tower. 30 seconds. Probably like 45 seconds to build a tower with one unit. It's the mercenary cavalry in. Now, these things, by the time they get into the fight, they're already basically dead. So these aren't really worth it. But when you've got infinite resources, why not? And the camel riders are back in here to clean up even more trade. This is so very strong. Kido not having the walls up on this position is allowing that to happen. I talk about it quite a bit with Narcissus. Like, you have to play so well to protect those sort of weaknesses. Getting in and getting those walls up nice and early when the trade route starts is very, very important. Taking that 2 population out of your army and just saying, getting walls up all over the map. There's the siege towers. There's no siege towers. The portable rams yet again trying to break through here. But again, look at this tower map. There's 23 towers on one area. No amount of units here for Kido can win this. No amount of population, no amount of economy, excuse me, is going to be able to break through this position. Now, Kimo is losing villages on the front. That's big. It's only down, well, big in a way. It's down to 50 pop, but he's got resources in the bank. He's got 250 pop, and Kido doesn't want a part of it anymore. 55 minutes, 45 seconds into this game, he taps out. And the Egyptian master Kimo retains his masterhood. His crown is firmly atop his head as one of the strongest Egyptian players currently playing the game. An absolute cracker of a game here. Both players playing insanely well. There was this moment up on this position where Kido got in, drops the dot, got the Kraken, got the Yorman Elva. I think if he just bought like 5 Yorman Elvas over here, didn't bother with the walls, just put all docks down and just got a ton of Yorman Elvas, this game might have been very challenging for Kimo. The Titan fight not going as well as Kido would have liked. Maybe focusing on taking out this corner with all these walls here, with that Titan first and foremost, just going for the trade route, sending units through here, because you can just walk over the walls and clean this up, and then all of a sudden all of that Kimo wall shenanigans is just dealt with in an instant, and you can get in and get that trade route attacked again. And then you're also really far away from the main base where the temples and the priests are getting built, and you can actually just sort of set up over here. Could have been another option. I mean, Kimo, on the other hand, there was this opportunity to just get in and get damage done on this position for a very long time. And to be honest, he was on the back foot for a lot of it, so he couldn't really make that happen. But as soon as he did, you know, he probably should have been even sending villagers around here and just trying to get this walled off, causing problems for Kido. And he would have been able to win this game even more efficiently. But statistically speaking, look at this. Kimo, he's up by 400, 350 units killed here. This doesn't matter. This economy here, you're going to look at this and you go, wow, look at the economic advantage of the Thor player. You know, it doesn't matter. This is not important. What matters is, are you at full population? Do you have all your armory upgrades? Do you have a position on the map that is protected and safe? And then that economy really does not help out in the slightest. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, if you like this game, if you enjoyed this game, if you enjoy Age of Mythology, don't forget to hit the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next game.